I'm surprised I didn't just ramble for about a half hour, forget to turn the mic on. That would have been that would have been more typical. Uh, I remember when you was a kid and you got a snow day and it was like glorious. Imagine back when you was a kid getting three of them back to back, three real snow days back to back. I've had one engagement show up in 3 days because everything gets canceled whenever it snows just a little bit. It's just the nature of my work, but I don't get paid. And, you've kind of blocked out that time and planned for that to happen on that particular time frame. So having that time off is kind of like it was, like on the third. It's like, am I to assume the rest of the week this is good? I mean, I can't assume, and I'm clipping everywhere. It's because this mic sucks. I don't like this mic, but I don't think I like it as much as I once did. It clips out way too easy, and it's always real quiet unless you turn it way up. So it kind of sucks. Yeah, snow day number three, and it's not that I haven't had some things going. 'Cause I think we all have little projects going in the background. They're all around me here, of course, but uh, we really don't intend to get involved in anything too deep because you thought because you're like, oh, I get a day of this, 2 days of this, three, and I gotta be honest. My fourth is already almost like I still have some engagements tomorrow, but they've already got some cancellations. So I'm expecting one engagement tomorrow when it's all said and done, and we'll see. I might get more than that. They keep canceling. It's cold. I get it. I can't have the kids out running around, and my work is tied to the school. So if there's any type of if they have 2 hour delays, which is probably it's happening. That's what's happening is there's a lot of 2 hour delays because the kids are still able to get the days to count if they just have a 2 hour delay. So that's what they're doing, and my program gets mixed. So snow day, snow day number three, and I shoveled all my snow already. It's 8:16 in the morning, and I was out there shoveling a couple hours ago. Now I work from home, but I still keep it nice, tidy. I can still keep it nice and tidy. I'm all about I'm all about the I'm all about the snow paths. I thought about 3D printing something. I don't know. I mean, it's like got string must print. I have a couple ideas in mind, but it's like I'd like to kind of develop the ideas a little more before just going after it, because you, you wind up and find it's not what you want when it's done if you don't don't put enough thought into it before you go after it. So I had something that I was working on. I haven't quite decided what to do with it. I might monkey around with that here. That's kind of what I thought. But before I do that, so my stomach's growling. I don't know why. Probably because I could use some breakfast probably or something. Hmm. wish I could get my photos to default opening with the photo viewer instead of with Photoshop. I clicked a button at some point in time in the past, and now Photoshop, and you don't. It's like it. I don't know. You might do this 2-3 times a day, and you're still like, oh, I got to change the open with. Oh, I got to. It takes so much longer to open, but this time I remembered. All right, so yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Huh, there seems to be nothing going on here. There we go. Yeah, so I'm all nice and tidy. It's all, I got all my stuff nice and clean. I like it. Oh man. Mm. I'm guessing there'll be a nap sometime in the near future. Is probably what's going to happen. A little mid-morning nap. Do a little bit of read here and decide what to do with this. So that's my little palace there. I just showed you a picture of the house, and if you look in the window, I'm down there. Hi, I'm down in the basement window. That's where my studio's at, and that's where that's what you're looking at right behind me, right here. It's my basement, and I've turned it into a workshop, and I got some cameras floating around here so I can do some different things. Just because for some reason, I like doing that. I don't know why, but I do. And today I was just bored because it was like the last of my. I didn't have many engagements left anyway, but while I was before I was done shoveling, they had all been canceled, and I saw the wife off because she actually has to go in. So saw the wife off to work, and I went out and cleaned up what the plow pushed into our driveway at the end of the driveway, and a little bit of snow that fell last night. It's like, man. So I got a couple other projects going, but I mean, it's like I wasn't really no intention of doing them yet. Like I have some stuff to prepare for the spring, but I haven't even ordered the epoxy to do it yet. So it's like it's not even gonna get here. I could have ordered it before. That's fucked up because I could have ordered it Monday and it would have been here today, and I could have got started and had it done this week. Oh, yeah. So, but that's not what you plan. That's not how you plan your week, right? I'm gonna guess that's a email from work. Let's see. Who else is it gonna be this early in the morning? No. It's probably a legal notice. My phone likes to just beep and say, "Hey, I need you," with a legal notice, or uh, Google will put a little picture package from yesteryear and be like, "Remember this?" and be like, "Beep beep, come look at me, rubby rub, me." The phones are so damn needy now. I mean, that could have been a text. Let's see. Huh. Okay, so it was. I guess it was. It was a text. I don't know who would text at this time of morning. It's kind of strange. My daughter sees I'm doing a live. I'm bored. Uh, that's funny. Telling her third snow day in a row. And I'm gonna do some. So actually, what I'm getting around to, and nobody. I just assume nobody watches. I just. Yeah, Google lets me save like up to 8 hours at a time, so it's like a huge DVR. That's kind of why I do this. I could put them private, I guess, and really, but I just assume nobody watches. So why does it really matter? Or if the two people that do, are you really? Yeah, Google saves uh saves stuff for free. uh, you can come in here for a couple hours and do some writing, and if you want to go back and put some kind of video together later, then you have some of that process and some of those things that were along with it. There you go. Hey, just choose another mic. So funny. So dumb. I would have went for like ever, and this whole video would have been useless later as some kind of well, this project was done by stupidness. That's funny. Yeah. Man. Luckily, there's lots of mics, and this one is a little bit better. Actually, a better mic. The one that's built into my thing is actually not a bad mic. It does a pretty good job of picking this room up. It picks up a little bit of ambient noise. Like you probably hear I call it the skeletal bones rattling in the background there, but it's just an air vent. It sounds like skeleton. It sounds like cartoon skeleton bones. Like if you was thinking about dancing skeleton, that's probably what it would sound like. Maybe I don't know. So, yeah, Pepsi Zero. See, I had to show my daughter. So, I if you've ever seen any of my projects, you might have seen the mountains of Dr. Pepper in the background that go along with it. Uh, last week, whenever the recycling went out, it was the first time since I can remember that it didn't go out about a third full of Dr. Pepper cans. So, yeah, I had to quit the Dr. Pepper habit, and my daughter's been kind of on me on it for a while. Dr. Pepper Zero, you'll like it, and I'm just like, I've tried it. It's not the same, but uh, you got to make choices, or the choices make you eventually. So, and it's becoming clear that the sugar is I'm not processing sugar as well as I once did. So, I'm trying Pepsi Zero. I could. I haven't had a Pepsi. I haven't had Pepsi in a long time, so this I was surprised that I could tell a difference between this and Pepsi because I hadn't had a Pepsi in a long time. But there is a difference between this and Pepsi. Even though I haven't had Pepsi in a long time, I can tell that there's a difference. So, but it's not terrible. I don't know. It's probably better than like losing your feet to the diabetes, or just not being able to walk, or having to deal with. I'm dealing with inflammation and things like that from it, and I'm sure that there's some that's tied to some other things. So I'm aware. You don't have to see to talk to a doctor to know what's going on. You, you can know that there's something going on and make decisions on your own. So I'll make those decisions and try to cut back on the sugar because that's what he's going to tell me to do anyway. So let's just try to cut back on the sugar. And this was a major one. If I get rid of that, it would be huge. Still eat sugar, but not like the. I mean, like I was drinking lots of this every week. Six easily, or 12 pack. Yeah, 12 pack. That's what that is there. 12 pack easily every couple of days. No problem. There's it's just over. It's just way too much. So, all right. On to this lame project. I think I got that. She's probably like telling me how stupid I look here. Pops, you're embarrassing me. I have cherry Pepsi Zero too. I actually got both, but I drink cherry. Here's the deal. I've tried diet, or I've tried uh, Dr Pepper Zero before, and like I drank. I have bought Dr Pepper and Dr Pepper Zero at the same time, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna try to make the swap.
But there is a distinct difference. If you like Dr. Pepper, you're not going to like Dr. Pepper Zero. It's not Dr. Pepper. It's not Dr. Pepper. It's just not, and it's not a substitute. So, uh, having tried that thought process in the past and doing a direct transfer, I had the idea. I can't. Somebody at some point said something about cherry Pepsi. I think it was probably my daughter. Uh, try cherry Pepsi Zero. It's great. Well, from time to time, I would drink cherry Pepsi Zero in lieu of Dr Pepper as an alternative because I kind of liked it too, but not near as much. Like a very a fraction. But I've had cherry Pepsis fairly regularly here for over the past several weeks, several months. So I thought I would pick up a thing of Pepsi too to kind of distance myself from something I recognize really well, just to see uh, how that difference hit me. And like I said, I was really shocked that the Pepsi stood out as not being Pepsi because I haven't had it so long. So I have had the cherry Pepsi Zero, and it's not too shabby. I mean, I don't 100% hate it, but it's not a cherry Pepsi either. So if you like cherry Pepsi, it's not exactly a cherry Pepsi, but I think it's one of those things that what you have to do is quit expecting. It's kind of the same thing with milk. I like milk, but I also like almond milk and soy milk and banana almond milk and chocolate banana almond milk, and I like all those. I like all those crazy milks, but they're not milk. It's something else. So, but I like it for what it is. So I think that's what needs to happen here. Is I need to learn to like this for what it is, and I'll probably stop drinking the Pepsi Zeros after this case is gone. I'll stop getting those and lean into the cherry Pepsi Zeros, and maybe start doing some Dr Pepper Zeros here again after this is all gone. I'm actually drinking more water than what I had in the past, which is good because I mean, you really want a Dr Pepper, but that Pepsi Zero is not exactly a Dr Pepper, so you're like, just drink water. So it does work for that too. It's like, I'll just drink water. All right. So this project, I've been 24 minutes to talk about Snow Day and Pepsi Zero. Not bad, I guess. We'll say somebody's asking. Not bad. It's not Pepsi though, so I don't know. Respect it for what is way better than Diet Pepsi. Oh my gosh, Diet Pepsi is like, or Diet Coke. That stuff is. I could never figure that out at all. That's all just straight chemical taste. This is not quite that chemically tasting. It's not as bad. So once this gets warm, it's really funky though. It's actually kind of good if you get it all frosty. Like my refrigerator has a tendency to frost things up, and for some reason these things get frostier than a real Dr Pepper do faster, and they're not too shabby when they're frosty. It's kind of interesting, but you got to drink it before it gets warm. If that gets warm at all, bleh. Anyways, let's see what she said. Yeah, she said diet is terrible. Yeah, there's something weird about diet. I know a lot of folks think diet's great, but I don't get it. That one's gross. All right, so I didn't get any emails telling me that there's a change of heart about my groups today. That's never going to happen. Once they've canceled, they've canceled. So let's see here. I'm going to look for. I'm going to just kind of poke around and see here first. So the project. So I like to do just, I don't know, stupid shit for the purpose of doing stupid shit from time to time. And this is one of those stupid shit for stupid shit projects. I got a light post right out the corner of my house there, and there's a flower encased, and there's a hibiscus flower encased in epoxy in there that I did some time ago, and it lights up. It's kind of cool, but it's been there for a few years. It's time to refreshen that up out there. What's out there at the street when people walk by? I have a lot of foot traffic by here. This is a busy road that I live on, so get a lot of foot traffic. So I wanted to freshen it up, do something a little different out there at the street or at the sidewalk for people to walk by. And what I had in mind was I got it. My house is really old. I mean, I think I shared a picture just a bit ago. Here you go, just one more time, just out of for shits and jigglets here. Maybe I lied. Oh, all right. So yeah, I mean they can't build them like that no more. This is they just can't. I mean, to do that kind of stonework today is outrageous. So anybody that has houses built would know that having a rock four wall rock house today just does not happen. You might see somebody use some rock as an accent here and there, but man, even a four wall bricks is becoming is becoming a thing of the past. They'll use brick on the front, and then my neighbors are all like that: brick on one side, but no brick over here because it's all been sided. You know, some of them, so not all of them. I got some of them. They're all brick homes. I got some homes that are the homes around me aren't as old as mine, but they're almost as old. But yeah, it's an old home, and it's right down the street. Like people who walk by here are well aware of the historic significance of the locations right around us here. Um, the fella who first, the explorers who first came to the area hopped up off the river right up the street from us. And there was a lot of negotiations. There was right here with the folks who lived here the before anybody came exploring, before Europeans started exploring. There was there was a spot here that was important to those folks, and it's just right up the street. And they had a name for it. They call it today. They call it Council Oak. Back then they called it Council Oak, but it was in some other language. It was some other language, and there was a specific spot over there, right up the road, where there was some significant meetings that occurred between groups of people here, including the Europeans at some point once they started coming here into this area. So a guy named LaSalle, probably heard about that. If you're from the Midwest, you probably heard of LaSalle because he's the guy that came here first. Him and his folks. He came, hopped off the river right up the street here from us, and my particular address really has not much to do with that historically, as far as I know. I mean, realistically, it's hard to know what happened here that long ago specifically, but that doesn't mean that you can't come up with your own version of what might have happened back then. So I intend to blend a little bit of some of that real history from LaSalle's Landing and what those people did once they got here, uh, right here where we're at. So uh, that's kind of the idea. There's an old, I don't know that I don't have any pictures of it that I've come across here. I'd have to go searching, but I don't. I got there's an old stone barbecue out back that a previous owner had built, and it's huge. Like it would require just a ridiculous amount of wood or charcoal to run this thing. But he probably had some large backyard parties that required it or something. Maybe he was Maybe he was doing the grate for it is enormous too. I mean, he might have been he's doing half a pig at a time. It was crazy, but the thing doesn't. It hasn't worked in years. It's crumbling. It's caving in. It's collapsing on itself. Every time we have a hard winter, more of it comes down, and I just kind of push off the stuff that wants to fall and just let it sit there. One of these days, it'll just be a rock pile. But I thought that that could be incorporated in some way or another. You know, people don't know that that's back there because you can't really see it from the road. You can't really see it from the street. But in a couple of photos and a little bit of info sheet, a fact sheet, you could make a little story about that. So what I intend to do is to create a historic plaque and tie it to this house and create a fake story, basically, fake history about the house. And I'll probably try to get a that paragraph summary of that story on the plat 3D printed so that I can stick it out there on that post so that people walking by it would look like a historic sign, those brass or coppery historic signs. I'll put a QR code at the bottom of it so they can get the full fake story. I don't know. People walking by, you give them some bullshit to friggin' look at. It would be like a small joke for just me in the neighborhood. Whether or not these people would believe it or not, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you just do shit to entertain yourself. Even if you don't know even if you don't know, I mean, how are you gonna know that anybody reads these things? I don't know. I don't know. But they walk. There's a lot of people walk by. Some people walk by over and over and over again. The same people walk by regularly. They walk their dogs. They they walk by here every day, almost every day. So seeing something like that pop up, something that looks like the historical plaque, and then having some kind of a story to it. I don't know. People like stories. So the story. I actually started this before. I don't even know where I got. I started it, and then the inflammation. I had inflammation kick up, and I had a hard time focusing at the end of this what I was writing here. So um, yeah, I'm not really sure where I got. But first, I'm going to see. I'm going to see if there's a historic plaque. Not really. Not really. I'm seeing some replicas of some. Yeah, not really. I'll probably have to draw this myself. Let's see. I could put this over here. So you can see that there's these. There's not a plaque, historic plaque, historic landmark. I'm going to put landmark. All right. So of course, 3D printing to historic landmark means you're going to historic landmarks. Okay. I just want the landmark sign. So let's put sign. See if that helps. It does not seem to help. Historic landmark sign. Nope. Let's see. What about Thingiverse? Sometimes Thingiverse has some things that Cults won't have. Cookiebot. I'm just gonna deny all. I don't know what you are, but no. What was it? Historic. See, the Route 66 is kind of like what you're looking for there, but not quite. See, look at Holly. There's a historic landmark sign. That's cool. Click on the ads. This site runs kind of slow. That one's interesting, but it's not what I'm looking for. And not that one. Ooh, that is getting close. I think I'm gonna. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's the Wrigley Field sign entrance. Let me see a little bit. Yeah, that is actually kind of close. If we can't find something better, I might actually snag that. Oh, daughter says she has a online exam. Luck. She says, "Wish her luck." So, luck. I don't think you need luck. I think she got it. Las Vegas welcome sign. That's good stuff. Let's see. Oh, there's the plaque right there. You see it? Mm-hmm. Statue of Liberty plaque. Ah, okay. So that I think is what we're really looking for right there. That looks like a historic sign, right? Am I wrong? Historic plaque? I'm going to download that one. We'll make a new folder and just call it historic signs. All right. So that is pretty close. I'm gonna keep looking just because I've kind of got something slightly different, although that is very close to what I have in mind. So let's see if there's if I can get this thing, it's right on target with what I'm looking for. That would be fantastic. If not, then I don't hate that one. So uh, one's interesting. I'm gonna take a look at that one too. That one looks like it's a kind of a reverse in some way or another of the others. Like, I'm gonna take a look at this one too. I like this. I like the. I like the way that looks very tidy. Yeah. All right. So I don't think I'm seeing anything better at this point. What- Let's see. Take a look at that one too. They are popping up still. I think that's it. Okay, let's take a look at these things here. Uh, Interesting. I might download this one up. Just that's what I want to do or not. Hmm. I mean, that is. I mean, you could stretch and skew that thing once you took it because you would import it, and then you would get rid of that text that's in there, and then replace it with your text. But that one's very tidy. Like just one frame instead of multi-layer. I kind of like the cleanliness to that look there. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the last one here. What is this? Oh my gosh! Really? 3D printed book of gas relief. Oh, it's Braille. Check that out. I'm fairly certain that's Braille. Not a bad deal. Look at that. Pictures that can be felt. Words that can be felt. Actual Braille. Yeah, it is Braille. It's kind of interesting. I hadn't really thought about using a 3D printer for that sort of thing, but you could use it for that type of teaching tool. Cool. All right. So I think that I found what I was looking for, which leads me to the text. So this is the text, of course. And Chin Labs is what we call my house right now. Can you believe that? We got a name for our house. We call it Chin Labs. But that is the old school uh, uh, morphing of names, my name and the wife's name together. Chin Chin comes from our two names stuck together, and Labs is because I don't know. There's got to be something. Why not a laboratory? So yeah, Chin Labs. Chin Gardens is out back actually, and Chin Cafe is on our patio. Sometimes there's some good dinner out at Chin Cafe. Good lunches, good brunches and lunches. In the springtime, there's lots of good brunches and lunches out there. Let's see. So this is the text, and I don't know. Let's see how it's only a page. I mean, I didn't. It doesn't look like I got too carried away. All right. So before we get into that, I'm not going to read it quite yet. I think I want a cup of coffee. Meh. Cup of coffee. The Pepsi Zero is kind of hit my liver, not what I wanted at. It's a cup of coffee. It's going to require like some kind of action. All right. I'm going to put you on something here. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, so I got the coffee on now. Yeah, there's a bit of a process to that these days. It used to be just remember whenever it was okay just to throw some crystals and some bunch of creamer and some sugar in there, and you were just like coffee. I mean, that's what you called coffee. Not anymore. Then you got to grind beans, and I think it's cleaning the toys up every time is what really eats up a bunch of. That's that part of the process eats up a lot of time is having to clean everything up. You got to go through and every time you use it, you got to clean it up. It wasn't like that at one time. Even a drip coffee maker, you didn't have to put that much effort into. I mean, you just kind of dump, rinse, put it back together, and let it go. But whenever you got when you're grinding your own, this that, and the other, there's just more cleanup. But I don't know. It tastes better. So if it didn't taste better, it wouldn't do it. Figured I'd wait till I get my coffee to start in because it's gonna beep up there, and I'm gonna be like, I just got started. I still want my coffee. So figured I'd wait. It's all right. I'm gonna blow my nose. You don't have to. I'm gonna hit mute so you don't have to share this. I don't have to share this with you. How about that? Okay, it's a little better. I was feeling drained. Did I get anything interesting here? No. No, I kind of half expect to get some emails about tomorrow again, but that'll probably be later today. The whole day they got next. I bet tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow looks like. I got two lined up for tomorrow still of 7. So 2 of 7, 5 have canceled. But it's just the way it is. And then Friday I've got 1. Oh, and it stinks because it's not till late in the afternoon. So it's not like I can't just knock it out Friday morning, get up, get your coffee, knock it out, and then be like, okay, I'm done for the weekend. No, you gotta wait around for it all day. Don't get too involved in. Don't get too involved. You miss your appointment. Oh man, yeah, those ones that come up late in the afternoon, those are dangerous for me because you could easily get tied up with some silly stuff or uh, it happens. It's good stuff. So I suppose I could tell you a little bit of background on my story here, and I think I kind of alluded to it already that I am tying some historical fact and some of the origin of the this area to, or at least Europeans' origin in this area anyway, to uh, uh, to my address, and then I'm going to put that information onto a what I hope looks like a historic landmarker sign, somewhat. You know, you go and you see those things, and they just look like historic landmarkers, right? That's it's just they got information on them, so that's the plan, to make up a fake history for my address here, and then stick it out there on the. I'm going to take off. I'm going to take off the big flower that's on there now that glows at night, and then put up something different. The big flower was red originally. It was really pretty, but it didn't stay that way. Once it was in the epoxy, it went from. And I dried it first, so I dried the flower. It was still a really deep red after it was dried, and it was nice and flat and big, so it was working out. But something happened to it when I dropped it into the epoxy, and it changed, and it kind of yellowed it, turned it yellowy. So it went from red to yellowy in the epoxy, and then of course the epoxy yellows in the sun, so it's been out there for several years. So whenever you have just clear epoxy sitting out in the sun, it begins to yellow itself. So there is that. But yeah, I'm gonna replace that with this fake history for my house, and it's gonna be tied. It's tied to the original landings when LaSalle got here, and I made up a member of his expedition who chose this spot to start his business, and that uh, he built. That is the guy who built the original oven, rock stone oven. Remnants of that still today back in my backyard. So yeah, I'll have to get some pictures and things like that, put it all together at some point, so that you can be like, so that you can tie the house and the this and the that to it. It'll when it's all said and done, that's kind of the idea, that there'll be this fake history, and I do have some pictures of it. I just don't know where over the years there's been pictures of it taken. I know there are. I just never had a reason to sort them out or anything. So I'm thinking there's probably algorithms that can sort my folder and go look for this. God, I got so many pictures of flowers. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would ever sort, because I got lots of pictures of flowers. I think I heard the ding, so I'm gonna go take a look at that. I think the coffee's done. I'm gonna take a look at that. I'm gonna put it back over here on the playlist. Tastings. I got my fudgy mug. Oh, fudge. Yeah. Got my fudgy mug. Yeah. For some reason, I feel it necessary to say this is a Meyer brand cinnamon roll. Whole bean coffee with a little stick of cinnamon stuck into the grinder when I ground the beans. So a little extra cinnamon in there with it. This one is it's pretty good. We get it kind of, it's in the rotation. I try not to be 100% brand loyal on things because it just sucks being brand loyal. I think you know what if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But it's hard not to also have preferences. So I do have a preference on coffee, and that Veranda Blend, Starbucks, Blonde, whole bean coffee is pretty damn tasty. And I don't know, I have a little bit of cinnamon with that too. A little sprig of cinnamon, a little stick of cinnamon. I grind it. But that one, I think that one's my favorite. This one's pretty good too. But I try to swap around. I try to buy based on more on price and economics rather than. If you are brand loyal to something like Starbucks, you are in for a ride. So, Starbucks comes around on sale every so often, so I pick up a certain, a couple bags of this, couple bags of that. So it hits the rotation, and then I have a few others that I also like, and they're all pretty good. I mean, I like having it. The variety's kind of nice. You look forward to it. Actually, kind of look forward to it a little bit. Then you look forward to the next bag because it's not going to be the same. So it's something you look forward to. But always look forward to that particular veranda coming back around again whenever it's time. And but for the moment, I'm working through a bag of this. And we came across this by. Because I usually don't buy the Meyer brand. I had gotten a couple of them, and it was like, I felt that they were just over. Like, here's the flavoring. I thought they were overly potent on the flavoring, and I tend to like a lighter roast. So you wind up kind of narrows things. It starts to narrow things down. So. My other daughters brought this, and she was like, my boss likes this. Give this a shot. That's pretty good. It just started hitting rotation, and it's been ever since. Coffee. Okay, so I have now managed to waste an hour and 10 minutes of my snow day. My third snow day. Is this still playing stuff? I didn't realize I was still playing stuff. Oops. Okay. So let's read through this thing here. I'm going to read through this thing and kind of see where I was at. I kind of know what I was trying to kind of do a little bit there. But let's see what it feels like on a read a couple weeks later here. So, Chin Labs, established 1861 by French explorer Louvin de la Mort, a member of Robert de La Salle's second expedition up the St. Joseph River. La Salle returned to negotiate at Council Oak. Leuven de la Mort set up camp at this location to establish La Chine Lave, or the Washed Oak. The team of explorers had come to establish trade. Leuven de la Mort joined to open the region's first brothel. In 1691, Fort St. Joseph was built. The fort traded hands a few times, then closed in 1795. La Chine Lave, La Chine Lave was nothing more than a tiny impromptu cabin with a large stone oven for heat and cooking. It remained. So I need to introduce that stone oven back here earlier. So I want to come back. I'm going to stop already. I've already gone too far. Let me see. So I introduced the idea of the region's first brothel. Let me see. La Chine, La Chine Lave, the Washed Oak. I think I looked that up or some shit. I don't know. The team, the team of explorers had come to establish trade. Leuven de la Mort joined to open the region's first brothel. He built an enormous stone oven for and let me see. He built an enormous stone oven for cooking that became a let's see. I need a term for a place that people converge all the time. A term for a place that people converge all the time. I'm going to show you what you can use the writer bot for. No, it's not writing a story for me, but I'm stuck on a word here. So a term, shut up, go away. A term for a place that people converge and meet regularly. Okay, so there we go. Meeting place, hub, hangout, commons, haunt, convergence point, social nexus. A social nexus, a watering hole. I say social nexus. Social nexus. It's see, keep on moving. Social nexus. He built an enormous stone oven for cooking that became a social nexus for for decades to come. I like that. There we go. In 1691, Fort St. Joseph was built. The fort traded hands a few times, then closed in 1795. Le Chêne Lave was nothing more than a tiny impromptu cabin. Let's see, I'm going to. But that. But that large stone oven kept visitors coming for miles for heat and the delicious cooking. There we go. All right, so I changed that a little bit here. All right, go back and read that paragraph here. 1691, Fort St. Joseph was built. The fort traded hands a few times and closed in 1795. La Chine Lave was nothing more than a tiny impromptu cabin. I say it began as. All right, the Chine Lave began as nothing more than a tiny impromptu cabin, but the large stone oven kept visitors coming for miles for heat and the delicious cooking. It remained open in spite of it remained open in spite of Lovin de la More's passing and the turmoil of the time. La Chine Lave quickly became a favorite location of locals as Council Oak was a traditional meeting spot for the leadership of the local communities. Pierre Navarre, uh, that guy's actually real too, by the way. LaSalle and Navarre are real people. Uh, Lovin de la More obviously is not. Pierre Navarre opened his trade post in 1820 at what is known as Leaper Park, moving trade a bit south. By the time South Bend was founded in 1865, La Chine Lave had been abandoned. The location had become farmland. The stone oven, all that remained, left to crumble into a heap. South Bend was becoming an industrial boomtown when the four-square Field Rock Homes currently on site was built in 1920. It was the first home built in the Council Oak neighborhoods. The neighboring homes were built in the 40s and 50s. As field rock was needed to construct the home, the pile of stones that once made up the oven was left to rest where it lay. Harold Johnson, the original owner, said there was a story told for every stone in that heap. Harold used the stone to rebuild the stones from the heap to rebuild a barbecue. The enormous grill was said to burn through a cord of wood an hour at the Johnsons' mini party. Mini lavish. We'll put lavish. Did I spell that right? No. Oh, really? I really went in. I really went in balls deep on that one. Harold was known to be a skilled horseshoe pitcher. The barbecue fell into disrepair after Harold passed. Let me see. Requiring a, a lot of upkeep and a large amount oops, of fuel to operate. There you go. The barbecue fell into disrepair after Harold passed. Let's see. Today, there uh, has hollowed and crumbled. Let's see. It's not really hollow. It's like mounted. dirt more or less now. Today the bar isn't much more. There we go. All right, so requiring a lot of upkeep and a large amount of fuel to operate, the barbecue fell into disrepair soon after Harold passed. Today, the barbecue isn't much more than a mound of stone again. Morning glory engulfs the heap each fall. All right, so I was a little broken as I tried to make some adjustments on the fly there through my first read. So I'm going to read through it again. I'm going to get a little coffee first. Got to slurp. Oh, yeah, coffee. Okay. Now, Fort St. Joseph exists. Leaper Park exists. Pierre Navarre was a real dude. The dates around him are real. The dates around the founding of South Bend are real. Uh, the story about Robert LaSalle's second expedition in 1681 is real. Negotiations at Council Oak, that's all real. So the what's really not real is anything tied to this particular property. La Chine La Baie, the Washed Oak, the brothel, the stone, the story behind the real story behind the stone barbecue back there. It is indeed a stone barbecue, or was indeed a stone barbecue. I don't know the real history or who the names are particular in the house here. I shouldn't say that. I do know the history. I don't know the right names. The history. The wife knows the right names. There was a guy that named Harold Johnson that lived here. I don't know if he was the guy that built the. If it was the right guy that built the barbecue, but there was literal plans for this barbecue at one time available at like hardware stores, so you could build it out of field rock, and you just had to buy like the grate and stuff, and that's what this thing was. But it matched the house because it was a field rock stone. I'm gonna see instructions for a field rock barbecue. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you would ever find what I'm looking here for on YouTube. It didn't just pop up. I'm gonna say I don't know what year that would have been, but it did exist. I'm not, it's just trying to find that something like that at this point. It's a gas grill manual now. See, these are the wrong thing, and this is a more modern looking one, and not quite as big, but it's very close. Look at that. Yeah, yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. So Yeah, these are there are some similarities in some of these to what I got going on, no doubt. In some of these stone grills here, some of them are a little more intricate than others, and less stone grill and more gas grill with or stone with built in. But this right here is fairly close. Only we've got an actual chimney in the back, so that you could trap heat with a plate and for to create an oven in there if you wanted to. So there's a yeah, it has an open front, and then it has a chimney up the back, so you could stoke that thing. Yeah, you could kind of use it as an oven, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, this is kind of the idea, close to what we have going on in my backyard. I'd have to find some pictures. That's all I could do. So I'm going to read through this again and see how it goes without all the extra. Chin Labs, established 1681 by French explorer Loven de la Mort, a member of Robert de La Salle's second expedition up the St. Joseph River. La Salle returned to negotiate at Council Oak. Loven de la Mort set up camp at this location to establish La Chine Lave, or the Washed Oak. The team of explorers had come to establish trade. Loven de la Mort joined to open the region's first brothel. He built an enormous stone oven for cooking that became a social nexus for decades to come. In 1691, Fort St. Joseph was built. The fort traded hands a few times and closed in 1795. Le Chien Lave began as nothing more than a tiny impromptu cabin, but the large stone oven kept visitors coming for miles for heat and for the delicious cooking. It remained open in spite of Loven de la Mort's passing and the turmoil of the time. La Chien Lave quickly became a favorite location of locals as Council Oak was a traditional meeting spot for leadership of the local communities. Pierre Navarre opened his trade post in 1820 at what now is known as Leaper Park, moving trades a bit south. By the time South Bend was founded in 1865, La Chien Lave had been abandoned. The location had become farmland. The stone oven, all that remained, left to crumble into a heap. South Bend was becoming an industrial boomtown when the four-square Field Rock home currently on site was built in 1920. It was the first home built in the Council Oaks neighborhoods. Uh, it was the first home built in the Council Oak neighborhoods. The neighboring homes were built in the 40s and 50s. As the field rock was needed to construct the home, the pile of stones that once made up the oven was left to rest where it lay. Harold Johnson, the original owner, said, "There was a story told for every stone in that heap." Harold used the stones from that heap to rebuild a barbecue. The enormous grill was said to burn through a cord of wood an hour at the Johnsons' many lavish parties. Harold was known to be a skilled horseshoe pitcher. Requiring a lot of upkeep and a large amount of fuel to operate, the barbecue fell into disrepair soon after Harold passed. Today, the barbecue isn't much more than a mound of stone again. Morning glory engulfs the heap each fall. Well, I mean, other than finding some imagery, which I know exists in my hard drive, I just have to go on the search for it. feel like I need to bring it up to today and why it's called Chin Labs. So, all right. So I feel like I need to bring it into today, and just leaving it at the Morning Glory doesn't explain Chin Labs. Let me see. Let's see. The current Let me see. Current owners adopted updated the name of the location. A tip of the hat to what was that guy's name? I'm just gonna copy and paste it. It's got all these weird things I don't know how to make here. Lachi. Oops, nope, that's not his name. Lovin. There we go. Lovin de l'Amour. Maybe I ought to put the name of the place. The tip of the hat to La Chin Lave. Or maybe you put his name. To. There we go. And that should be a possessive there. Put the S there. And a comma will help. Hat to Lovin de Lamour's Chin LeVay. Uh, let's see. I'm going to turn this around. Current ownership updated the name, the location to Chin Labs. Chin Labs, built from Chad and Chin, the current owners, has a tip of the hat. I don't need that many uhs. Has a tip of the hat to Lovin de Lamour's La Chin Leve built into it. Built in. Built in. Um, Updated the name of the private residence. Derived from, not built from. Okay, I think that's a little smoother there. me see. I don't know that that really needs to be added in there. I think that takes care of it. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Has been updated to Chin Labs. There we go. That's better. See, what is the pile of stone doing today now? Let me see. I'm just gonna pile of stone seamlessly blends into the Chin Labs vegetable and flower gardens. I think that's it. I think I got it. I think I got my update. I think I got my wrap up there. All right. So I think I'm going to put this on a pause for a minute and then take a little lap or a little walk, and then I'll come back and read it one more time and see if this is what I want to see. If this is the story that I was looking for. I think I got it. I think I wrapped it up. I think that was it. So I don't know. Come back here in a moment and see see if I feel the same way. That's usually the best way to do it.
I guess I'll have to let fate lead me. I guess I'll cast my cares all down. I guess the choice will be easy. There's nothing left to say. It's so easy when there's nothing left to say.
Check, check, check. All right.
That better?
That's better.
What are we doing now? E blues?
Yeah.
Wait, D blues. D blues.
dead stop after. Sometimes you gotta lose. Just give us like a crash, so we know. You want to go right before that?
You'll feel it. I felt it that time. Look,
Okay. All right.
fucking cool though.
We'll go a couple before that. Write this one down too, so you don't forget
That's
it.
what I was starting to think about.
The biscuit eating blues.
I don't know. Hey, dude, this is the name of it. The chorus is pretty cool. I like that. The biscuit that you choose makes you want to pay your dues.
Man, they are never gonna let you live it down. You know it, man.
The drinks I take at work. Who's not gonna let you live it down? All these guys. It's like getting fucking fired for stealing boxes, man.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so here is this barbecue that I'm referring to, and yeah, you know, it's probably not quite as heapy as I make it out to be. You know, but it is rotten. The mortar in it is all corroded, and the face of it's all collapsed, and the top is there's no stack in it anymore. That's all crumbled out of it. It's full of just dirt and grossness now. Flowers grow in it, pretty much. I clean the debris off of it and let it recover in flowers every year. So, and this is, yeah, look at that. It's all collapsed. There's no front. It should be all the way down to the bottom here, but it's not. It's it should be should be a lip here to hold some coals in here. There should be a stone right here, but there's not. That's the grill actually holding the dirt in. That's back there, and there's the dead plant from the previous year from that picture. But yeah, that's there's that thing. All right, and I'll probably get some better pictures of it, some more purposefully taken pictures because or find some. I just figured I'd find a quick picture of it. I came across one as quickly as I could there. So let's go. I'm gonna go through and read this and decide if this is how I want to do this here or not. I think I got what I want. Chin Labs, established 1681 by French explorer Louvin de la Mort, a member of Robert de La Salle's second expedition up the St. Joseph River. La Salle returned to negotiate at Council Oak. Louvin de la Mort set up camp at this location to establish La Chêne Lavée, or the Washed Oak. The team of explorers had come to establish trade. Louvin de la Mort joined to operate the region's first brothel. He built an enormous stone oven for cooking that became a social nexus for decades to come. In 1691, Fort St. Joseph was built. The fort traded hands a few times and closed in 1795. La Chêne Lavée began as nothing more than a tiny impromptu cabin, but the large stone oven kept visitors coming for miles for heat and a delicious cooking. It remained open in spite of Louvin de la Mort's passing and the turmoil of the time. La Chêne Lavée quickly became a favorite location of locals as Council Oak was a traditional meeting spot for leadership of the local communities. Pierre Navarre opened his trade post in 1820 in what is now known as Leaper Park, moving trade a bit south. By the time South Bend was founded in 1865, La Chêne Lavée had been abandoned. The location had become farmland. The stone oven, all that remained, left to crumble into a heap. South Bend was becoming an industrial boomtown when the four-square field rock home, currently on site, was built in 1920. It was the first home built in the Council Oak neighborhoods. The neighboring homes were built in the 40s and 50s. As field rock was needed to construct the home, the pile of stones that once made up the oven was left to rest where it lay. Harold Johnson, the original owner, said there was a story told for every stone in that heap. Harold used the stones from the heap to build a barbecue. The enormous grill was said to burn through a quart of wood an hour at the Johnsons' many lavish parties. Harold was known to be a skilled horseshoe pitcher. Requiring a lot of upkeep and large amount of fuel to operate, the barbecue fell into disrepair soon after Harold passed. Today, the barbecue much more than a mound of stone again. Morning glory engulfs that heap each fall. The name of the private residence has been updated to Chin Labs. Chin Labs, derived from Chad and Chin, the current owners, also has a tip of the hat to Louvin de la Mort's La Chêne Lavée. Built in, the pile of stone seamlessly blends into the Chin Labs vegetables and flower gardens. The stones are still collecting stories. All right. That last paragraph's a little rough with all that Chin Labs, Chin Lavée, L'Amours, blah, 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 there in that last sentence there. I may go back through and see how that rolls again here later, but I gotta say that's not too bad for a made up history. Not too bad. All right.
All together now.
All right. So I blasted a couple of hours away from my third snow day by finishing some writing that I had started before. Now I just got to settle on a sign, find some imagery, and start putting a package together. I might continue with this project here later today. I think for now I'm gonna nap it out. I got up early so that I could be productive, and I was productive. Now I think it's nappy times. That was good fun.